So in lab 5, it's supposed to be related to lecture 5. Here we have to write a C# program. Definitely we have to use the Windows Form application for a login page. For a big system, when you tell for a big system, for a small system, login is login. It's the same. So what we mean by login page, that's mean we have to provide text boxes for username and password. We will not connect to the database here. We will just check the username and password against some certain keywords in our program. Just a moment, please. Okay, so we have to put 2 text boxes, one for username and one for passwords, and then we have to put buttons also for login, one button for login and one for cancel to exit the application. We have to put labels also, labels for the username and password, and then we may display a picture just to make the interface more attractive. We will use the picture box here to display that. Then after we do this design here, we have to write the events that will be connected to the function that will do the login and exit the application using the cancel or the cancel button here. We have to write click events, mouse events, and we can do a keyboard event, like when we press on a certain key in the keyboard, it will also check for the login. Let me show you the output of that application, and then we will build it together here. So it will look something like this. Now the program is executing. Let us wait for the output to come. So for all these labs, you have to use the Visual Studio in order to write your code, because this involving Windows Form application. This is an example of the login form here. This is an example of the login form. Now, because we design it using this small scale size, then it will appear like that. If you want to design it using a big screen like that, then you have to adjust that during your design time. But this is our application. When we put a username and password, let's say, for example, this is my username and this is my password. If it's wrong, I put a wrong username and password, then it should tell me wrong username or password. If I put the correct password, for example, then I click, it should hide that form, the login form, and show me the form of my application. Here I can put like whatever information I want to display on my application. The trick here is to hide the login form if the username and password is correct, and then show the next form. Now let us build the project from the beginning. So I'll close this solution. So that you will be able also to do it after I will explain to you. Now I have to select Windows Form application. Next. Then I have to save it somewhere. So I'll put it here, lab 5, exercise 1, this folder, and I will call it login. login application, login app. Now the project will be created, and it's an empty project here. It's an empty project. Okay, now it's created the first form for me here. Now using this form, I have to do the design same as the one that I just showed you. I need to put a picture. So for that, I have to use a picture box. Now, if you want to make it bigger, you can just resize your form. That is, it's up to you. If you want to control the size, you can control the size from here also, from this properties. Picture box, we have to use picture box. Now this is the picture box. You can control the size of this picture box also using the squares that you have seen here. Now, if you want to put an image, click on this empty space here beside the none, and then you click on these three dots. Now you can go browse your computer, your local resources, and you can go and pick whatever image you want. For example, I want to pick this image, login image. This is the image that I choose here, login image. Now this is because the image is too big for this box. We have to make it fit. Size mode, we have to use here size mode. Now it's normal. We have to make it stretch. We have to make it stretch so that it will be stretched based on the size of our form. Now, whenever I stretch my box here, the image also will stretch with that. In order to make it look better, the background of the form, I will make it also with white color. I'll make it also white color. So back color here, I will put as white color here so that it will look the same as the background of the image, just to make it look more attractive. Now I need to put the text boxes for username and password. So I have to search for text box. This is text box. This is one text box here. Now this is another one. The default names for these boxes will be text box 1, and this is text box 2. And then I have to put labels also. Labels just to indicate what is this field exactly. For example, here I have to change the text of this to make it username, and then I have to put another label to make it for the password. Pull it up a little bit here. This one is for password. And in order to make this field show only the stars instead of the character, there is a password car here, password character. There's one field called password character. Here I can put whatever character I want to be displayed when I type inside that box. So I put star here. I put star. Now when I execute the program and start type inside this text box, it will, whatever I type, it will be shown as star. Now I'll put the buttons here. This is the login button. I will change it to login also. Login. You can make it more attractive by changing the font, maybe changing the color of the buttons. It is up to you. And here, cancel. Cancel to exit the application. Now the first event that we want to use here is the click on the login. When we click on the login, we need to check the username and the password. If they are correct, then we can go to the next form. Go to form 2. Now we have only form 1 here. We cannot go to form 2 unless we create another form. Like our application, if we want to have multiple forms, we have to create forms. Here, new item, we have to go to the application. Again, I will go to Solution Explorer, right click on the project, and then add here. And then you have to put a new item. And then from the new item, you have to select what kind of item you want to put. Is it a class or interface, or for example, form? I want to create a form here. I want to create another form so that when I click on the login, if the username and password is correct, it will show the content of the second form here, form 2. So I leave it as form 2. Click on add. Then you can see here form 2. We have form 2 and it is empty. This form 2 is empty. Going back to form 1, now we write the events for click on button 1 or login. It's better actually to change the name of the button to make it login. Later, if your application is big and you have many buttons, it's better to identify them with a specific name. Now, the first thing we need to check is that if the user click on the login while the text boxes are empty, or one of them are empty. So we have to check for that. We have to put if statement here. If text box 1, that is for the username, dot text is equal to empty string. Either this or text box 2, we need to check for 2 also, dot text, the text inside it is equal empty string. So if they are empty string, then we need to show message box dot show please enter your username and password. To show a message, please enter your username and password. That is in case we did not enter either one of them. Otherwise, and here we have to return. Here we have to return. That means exit the execution of this. Now we have to check, another check, if our username and password is correct. I will define a hard-coded username and password. Because we are not connecting to database here. In this course, we will only talk about database in one chapter only. So our focus is on the user interface design here, mainly, not about the database itself. So I'll put username and password, and I will check against these two username and password. 1, 2, 3. If they are similar, if whatever we enter in the user interface similar to this, then we will show form 2. Otherwise, we will tell wrong username or password. So here, if same thing as this, but we are not checking against empty here. We are checking against this one is equal to username. If this one equal to password, but here the check should be with and, because both of them must match. Both of them must match. If that's what we got here, then that time we can hide this form here, dot hide. We can hide it, and then we can show form 2. So we have to create an object of type form 2 equal new form 2, and then we show it form 2 dot show dialog. So this is how to hide one form, and this is how to show the second form. Else here, else it should show a message like this. It should show a message telling that wrong username or password. Wrong user name or password. That is the click button here. The function inside the click button for login. This one is for login. I can put here, this is login button. Click. This is a comment here. Login button, click. It will check if anyone is empty, then it will just show us this message, error message. Otherwise, put the correct username and password, it will hide the current form, the login form, and then it will show the second. Otherwise, it will show that wrong username or password. Let us try. This is the form here. Now let me put, for example, admin, and then the password I'll put 321. It's showing wrong username or password because it's not the correct one. I will keep this one empty. Then it will show, please enter your username or password, because one of them is empty. If both of them is empty, also the same thing. Both of them is empty, the same thing. And if I put the correct one, admin, and 1, 2, 3, then it will hide that form and then show me the second form. Now, if I want to do this using a key press, let me stop. If I want to do this using a key press on the button also, on the button, for example, here, let me go to the form design, close this, and then I go to the form design here. Let's say when I press on the character E, for example, when I press on the character E, I want that character, when I press on it, it will also perform the same thing, perform enter, like perform a click, perform click. So then I go here to the login, and then I go to the event, and then I can generate a key press, event here, and then there I can check if the key that we press is equal to the ASCII code of the E letter. We can check if we press the E letter. How we know that it is E letter? We can check the ASCII code, and the ASCII code is 101. We have to convert that to string if we want to check against string. That's why we use convert here. These are important sometimes in our program when we want to convert values from number to string or string to number dot to string here. We are changing the value that generated from the key character, because that one is a number. Convert to, that is to integer of 32 to int of 32 bits. What we want to convert? We want to convert E, this one, E dot key character. This one we have seen in the previous chapter, how it can return to us the ASCII code of our key. If this one is equal to 101, why? You may ask why 101? Because that is the E character. I want this to check against the E character. This is E. I put comment here, when we press on the letter E. If you want to press on another letter, then you can get the ASCII code for that and then check against it. So if I press on the letter E, then I need to do the same thing here. I need to check the username and password. If they are correct, hide. And if they are not correct, then show this message. I need to do the same thing exactly. So now if I execute here, and then I will put username, I put password, then now you see the focus is on this. I will not press using the mouse, I'll press using E here. I'm pressing the E character. If I press other character, nothing happened. But if I press E, because it's checking against the 101, and 101 is the E character. That's how we can do a key press on a certain character to simulate clicking on a button. Otherwise, by default, the enter also is activated there. So if I press on enter, it's the same. By default, this is I'm pressing enter. The enter key on the keyboard will do the same thing as when we click. So if I put the correct password here and then I press on the E character, okay, E character here, it will do the same. It will log in and it will show me or hide the first form and show the second form. So this is what we actually have here in lab 5. So we already designed a login page. We put a picture there just to make it attractive. We put 2 text boxes for the user for the password. We put labels button here. Let me make the cancel button also working. So the cancel button, I want to use that cancel button to exit the application. So I'll put application.exit. That is, will help me to exit the application. This instruction we put here, it will exit the application. So click here. Then if I click cancel, it will just exit the application. If you want to do something else, you can also, in case, do like hide this form and then show another form. That is also possible. So as I said, we put the text boxes, one for username, one for password. We put buttons, one for login, one for cancel. We put labels to identify our text boxes here in our form, that to identify that this is username and password. This will labels usually will be used as a guideline to the user, so that the user will know what kind of information required to be placed here. And as I said, we used the picture there. We put a picture to make it more attractive. And then we wrote 2 events, one mouse event, one click mouse event, and one keyboard event for the submit and for the cancel.